The Forgotten Village. It was late in the fall when Aaron and his group of friends decided to go on a weekend camping trip. They wanted an adventure, something off the beaten path. So they chose a secluded area in the mountains that had been marked on old maps but was long forgotten by the locals. The place was called Briar Hollow, an abandoned village hidden deep in the woods, said to have been deserted for over a century. The hike to Briar Hollow was grueling. The further they trekked, the thicker the forest became. The path, though barely visible, was littered with ancient roots and vines that seemed determined to trip them at every step. The deeper they went, the quieter the forest grew. Even the birds stopped singing. After hours of hiking, they finally reached the edge of the village. The air was heavy with the scent of decaying wood and damp earth. Briar Hollow wasn't what they had expected. It wasn't just abandoned, it was almost forgotten by time itself. The houses were crumbling, their roofs sagging and windows were broken, their interiors cloaked in dust and darkness. "This is it," Aaron said, trying to sound enthusiastic, though he couldn't shake the unsettling feeling that had been creeping up on him since they arrived. As they set up their tents in the clearing at the center of the village, his friend Mark found an old well near one of the houses. Curious, he peered into it. "Guys, come check this out," he called, his voice echoing slightly from the depths. Aaron and the others gathered around, shining their flashlights down into the well. It was deep, so deep they couldn't see the bottom. But that wasn't the strange part. The well's walls were lined with markings, symbols carved into the stone. They didn't look like anything Aaron had ever seen. Neither letters nor pictures, just odd shapes that twisted and spiraled. Mark, being the daredevil he was, picked up a stone and dropped it into the well, listening as it fell into the darkness. But no sound of it hitting the bottom came. Silence stretched out, as if the stone had been swallowed by the earth itself. "This place is creepy," Emily whispered, backing away from the well. The others agreed, though no one wanted to say it out loud. That night, they built a fire and tried to enjoy the evening, but the unsettling feeling lingered. The forest around them was too quiet, almost like it was listening. As the sky darkened, Aaron glanced at the village's old houses looming in the background, their broken windows like hollow eyes watching them. Around midnight, as they were drifting off to sleep, Aaron awoke to a sound. It was faint at first, barely audible, like someone whispering his name. He sat up, heart racing, and looked around the campsite. His friends were all asleep, the fire reduced to glowing embers. He strained his ears, listening. There it was again, a soft whisper. "Aaron." He turned toward the well. For a moment he thought he saw movement, a flicker of something,